So, when you're given this question of a non-profit organization, like this is for club, which they normally get their revenue from their subscription from members. So what you need to have at least 3 steps. You need to approach this question. So the first one, the first step is to get accumulated.
Can you zoom in?
Yes.
Can you zoom in? Yeah, that's better. Yeah, a little smaller. Yeah.
The first step is you get accumulated capital. Yes. So either it depends now which one is easier for you. You can get accumulated capital by getting preparing a trial balance, or you total the asset and you subtract the liabilities, you get the capital.
The capital.
And then the second one is that you need to have what is called the creditors account. The creditors account. Because this non-profit organization, they do sales on cash. They sales on cash basis. So you don't need to have account or account receivable. We only need account payable, so that we can be able to determine how much was the credit per purchases. Then after that, you need an account called subscription account. Subscription account. And then other adjustment, which now we don't know unless the examiner has given us. So we call other adjustment. Yes. So whenever you are doing this question, you must remember at least three steps. So let's go to the question. So I want now we start with, let's go as per steps so that you can see you will not miss any steps. So we can start by looking at a trial balance. So our trial balance, trial balance at this case, you will put the asset at the beginning of the year. You will put as asset at the beginning of the year. So anything which is for 2018 will not appear here in a trial balance, right? So we have a cash, we have cash. If you look at the cash book, we have balance for forward 3910. We have what else here? We have land, the club land. The club land, we have it. I've cut 3 zeros, so there's 3 zeros up here. It is 3 zeros here. And that so land, we have land of 120,000 or 120 million. Of 120 million. What else do we have? We have the pavilion, sport pavilion. Art pavilion of 60 million. And then we have the equipment, club equipment.
You're going to use the value, the cost value, not the
Yes, we are using the cost value. We are using the cost value
in the trial balance.
Yes. So what is the cost of equipment? That is 7.5 M.
It's 7,500.
What other assets I've seen inventories. What is the value of inventory?
The opening or the closing?
No, the opening for 2017. We only recording values for 2017 here. We are not recording anything for 2018.
13 for 88.
13
For 88.
for 88.
Yes.
And then we have the canteen supply, canteen owing. So canteen owings or suppliers owing Ningapi.
9882. 9,882.
Is it canteen expenses or canteen owings or canteen suppliers?
Canteen supplies owing.
It is 9882.
Yes.
And then canteen owing.
676.
26, just 76.
Canteen owing. 776. How many is it? 7? Oh, 676. Sorry, 676.
76. What else?
Yes.
For 2017, we have not captured.
Should you include the things that are in receipts and payments?
There?
Are we including the things that are in the receipts and payments account? I mean statements. So
Just finding out the question. Just a minute. So we have put the canteen expenses owing. We have put inventories. Inventories is for, yeah, it's okay. We have subscription.
this is the canteen
We have
suppliers
subscription.
only or the payment for canteen supplies?
Yes.
This canteen suppliers,
It is
supplies, is it
we have
canteen supplies only?
canteen expenses. We have canteen expenses and canteen suppliers. They are two different things. The other one is payable, the other one is expenses.
Is this canteen suppliers?
Canteen suppliers, these are payable, these are not expenses. These are payable, these are expense. So you have to get the difference. And then we have subscription.
They're only including the things that are in the note.
Yes.
Are we only including the things that are in the note?
In the note.
Yeah.
Yes, anything which is for 2017, that one will appear in a trial balance.
Okay, they're not about these statement of receipts and payments. Are we going to include them?
The payment of?
The statement of receipts and payments. This table up here. Are we going to include anything from there?
Which note?
The table, statement of receipts and payments. These things that are in this statement of receipts and payments.
Let me download this prospectus first. I have a problem with that. So this question is for
2018 November.
2018 November.
Yes.
So we have note 1, which say as at that one for land and equipment. We have adjusted that one, right? We have note 2. The club equipment as at 30th June 2017 was valued at 7.5 million. So what I'm just looking here is anything which is for 2017. Anything which is for 2018, that one is for the current year. That one is for the current year. So that one we have adjusted for 2017, 7.5 million. Then note number 3, we have been told subscription owing by members amounting to 4.2 million as at 30th June 2017. So we only need for 2017. So I will pick that subscription of 4.2. Remember, subscription in arrears is an asset. Subscription in arrears is an asset. So I will debit. Then I continue with the information. The following balances were available as at 30th June 2017 and 2018. I only need for 2017, which I have already accounted that canteen expense owing, we have inventory, and we have the suppliers.
Suppliers to ask.
Yes.
The things that are in the receipt and payment, are we not including them in the trial balance?
Your sound is very low.
I'm saying.
Yes.
Can you hear?
Maybe you can just speak louder.
I'm saying.
Yes.
The statement of receipts and payments, are we going to include any values from there?
Yes, we have just included the balance brought forward, 3910. Have you seen that one? That is for 2017.
And what about the rest?
The rest is for the current period. So the trial balance we are preparing here, we are preparing a trial balance to know what was the capital at the beginning of the year.
What about these subscriptions received for the year 2016 or 2017?
That one, they received the subscription in the current year, which was relating for the other year. So last year, those subscription was not there.
Okay. I understand.
So now get the difference between these, but canteen owings are not assets. These are accruals, so it should be on a credit side. So you can sum these on debit. You can sum the one on debit.
Could you please make it smaller so that I can see all the values?
I can reduce these.
Yes.
That one is okay.
Yeah.
So debit is more, that is 209,098, which would be the same with credit. So now the balancing figure here will be our accumulated capital. The balancing figure here will be accumulated capital, which I will subtract. We say this minus this minus 2. So which will be 198,540. So that is our capital. That is our capital. So we have done to the first step. The second step, we will open the creditors account. But this creditors account is specifically for canteen. Now we will have debit on this side and we will have a credit on this side. Balance brought forward you can look at balance brought forward is the same with this. That is 98, 98, 82. Balance carried forward, which should be on a debit. Balance carried forward for 2018 Singapore. That is 10, 0, 20, 13, 0, 20. And then if you look at our receipt and payment cash book, there's a payment. There's a payment. So here you put on debit, you say cash. They are paid how much?
115,860. 115,860.
115 or 118? 115, 860. 115,
Yes.
860. Now balance this equation. So if you sum these two, it means the debit is more. The debit is more. So it will be the same 1288. The balancing figure which should be on credit is the credit purchases. The balancing figure should be the credit purchases, which I check now, this minus this. So my credit purchases is 118,998. Yes.
Yeah.
And then so the next account is subscription account. So we have subscription account. Subscription account, you will need subscription account. Remember, we have balance brought forward in arrears,
Yes.
which is an asset. So we should debit. That is 4,200. And then we have balance carried forward in arrears, which is 652 what?
5250.
5250. And then now we have the contribution they are paid in the current year. So you will total all of them and then you credit and write cash. So how much is that? That is 4,200 plus 43,050. 51.
51. Wait. It will be a total of 5850 on the cash.
850. We have 50, 850. That is the total. So
And the balance.
And then the balance?
The balance will be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know.
The balance will be
51,900.
1,900. It will come here. Income statement. So we will credit income statement. We debit subscription account. We credit income statement 51,900. So that we balance this account at 56,100. That is the total. 56,100. So I think now we have done with the main account which we should open.
Wait, what about transport expenses account?
Transport.
Yeah.
Those ones are just a small adjustment. You don't need to open account for that. These are just the big, the major account. The other one you can just as you do the question. So let's now answer the questions. The first question is canteen income expense, right?
Yes. The Canteen income statement.
Yes, so canteen income statement. So the first one, you start with the sales, which will have a debit here, and credit, you will have a debit and credit, have a debit and credit. So what are the total sales of canteen? Specifically, something which is written canteen. Anything which is not written canteen, you don't put it here. So
It's
if you go,
183,840.
yes, so if you go to suppliers receipt, we have 183,840. We put on credit 183,840.
840.
That 183,840, then we come to the cost of sales. Cost of sales, we start with the inventory. What are the inventories? I remember opening stock is
Opening
13,488.
inventory is 13,488.
And then we have purchases, which we had already calculated here, 11.
118,998.
11, 118,998. And then we have the
Yes.
closing inventory,
16,674.
16.
674. 16,674.
Okay, so if you adjust, you get your
16,674. 16,674.
674.
Yeah. 16,674.
Is it okay?
Yes.
So we can get the cost of sales, this one plus this minus this cost of this one, it's our cost of sales, so that we can get the gross profit.
158, 12,
Which is this one minus
8,028.
8,000.
Yes, 68,028.
8,028. Then we less expenses. But now, any expense which is canteen, not every just expenses, but for canteen. So we can start with additional information. We have canteen expense owing. So we have canteen expense.
I thought that canteen expense owing was an accrual.
Yes, there is accrual
I
and
thought
there
that
is
we only
payment.
in expenses we only use canteen expenses and canteen staff wages. That's what I use.
Canteen, you see canteen expenses, right? This year, they have paid canteen expense of 742. Have you seen that one in the cash book?
Yes.
So they have paid that one in the current year, but there was accrual for 2017, which is 676, right?
1,008. Okay.
Not 1,000,
676, yes,
2017, 617.
yes.
And then we have for the current year, that is 1008. So you have to adjust the three. So this canteen expense said, I have paid you 7. So you will put in bracket, you have paid 702, but there was accrual in the last year. So we add back that one, 676, 676, and then this is accrual. So we less for the last year, less for the last year, and then we add back for the current year. We add back for the current year 1008. So that we have adjusted our accrual or our canteen expenses. So that one would be how much? 702 minus 6 plus 8. So we have 30, 34. So this is the current expense we should expense in the canteen. Canteen expense.
Oh, I've seen. I actually wrote the correct thing. I actually calculated it correctly, but I transferred the wrong figure to the. Okay, I've seen where I made a mistake. Seen where I made some mistake.
And then we have which other thing which is relating to the canteen. So if you go to the receipt and payment,
Canteen
we
staff
have
wages.
canteen staff wages. Canteen
Staff wages.
staff wages. So canteen staff wages, there is no accrual. We just pick the figure that is 25,872. 25,872.
Yes.
Do we have anything to figure? No. So I think from there, we can now get our net profit from canteen. Which is the gross profit minus the 2, get 11. So that is the net income, the net profit from the canteen, right?
Yes.
So what was your net profit?
I had gotten the wrong one.
Okay, you
I
are
had
making
used
see where there was a challenge from you.
Yes, I am correcting myself.
So now we can go to the income and expenditure account. So you will join after, I think 40 minutes will expire, and then you will join it again, right?
Excuse me?
I'm saying the 40-minute trial will expire, so you will join it again.
Okay, no problem.
So you can now go to the income and expenditure account. I've seen you have used another method.
There's a different method.
I've seen you have used another method, which is not bad, but I think this one is very easy compared to that. I'm not disputing your method, but it is good to use the easiest one. So you only need to have a T format.
T format.
So this D format, you will have debit and you will have the credit here. You will have debit and credit. We can start by credit. Credit all the incomes, we will credit. All the expenses, we will debit. So we can start with the income, that is the net profit from canteen. The net, our canteen profit, just write canteen profit. So canteen profit, we have this one. And then we have subscription. Subscription. Subscription, we have we have quoted
51,900.
900. What else? I think those are just the income on the workings.
And
then,
donations received.
So now let's go to the cash book. We have donation 400. 400. What else do we have as an income in that one?
Those are the only income.
These are the only income. So we go to the expense part, which we will put on debit. So let's start with the additional information so that we don't lose the focus. We have depreciation. So depreciation for pavilion is how much? 10% of 60,000. So we have depreciation, which is 6,000, right?
For the sports pavilion, yes.
For sport pavilion. And then what else do we have? We have 20% of
depreciation of
20% of 725. 1,500.
Yes.
1,500, right?
Yes.
Aha. What we come to the note number 4. The following balance was extracted. We have the transport owings.
There are no more expenses.
We have number 4, transport owing, transport expense owing. You're forgetting that.
I thought it's an accrual. I thought
Yes,
that it's
you
not
have to
under
adjust.
expenses.
Once you've seen adjustment in the additional information, you record that one as you do adjustment so that you don't forget.
Oh, I'm sorry that I'd already done the adjustment.
We have
But
done
let's see if you.
we have done for canteen,
Yes,
we
let's
have
see.
not done for transport.
Okay, let me see if my adjustment and your adjustment are similar.
So this is accrual. So I will take the ones they are paid in the cash book, that is 7260. So I will take 7260 minus 7260 plus what they are paid, what plus the accrual for the current year. The accrual for the current year is 790.
796.
So what will be, it will be 7260 plus 796, which will come to
856.
850. So that is a transport. Then now we are back to the additional information. We go back to the receipt and payment on a credit. So we start with the repairs to sport pavilion. We have repairs. That's how much?
2220.
20, 20. 2220. We have secretary allowance. Secretary. Secretary allowance, we have
2814.
58, 14. And that we have transport, we have already done that stuff. We have groundsman wages.
Groundsman wages.
How much?
65304.
6504.
65304.
304. Payment to continue, we have done that. So get now the difference. So if the debit is more than the credit, then we get a deficit. Yeah?
Yes.
If credit is more than the debit, then we get a surplus. So let's add for the debit. Which are this one to put the other side. So credit is more. So we have a surplus. We have a surplus of how much? So we will take this minus this. So we have a surplus of a surplus of 95, 20, 28. I know yours was wrong because of canteen profit.
Yeah, the canteen profit also, and I used the wrong transport expenses. Funny thing, when
Yes.
I was adjusting, I adjusted correctly, but I carried forward the wrong. It was a careless mistake, let's just say. I carried the wrong.
That's what we call a transposition error.
Yes, there was a transposition error.
You did errors the other day, so you should be keen.
So this 9528 is it's the net surplus.
Yeah, so this is the one which we will take to the income to the balance sheet. So we can have the balance sheet now here. Or yes.
Wait. Okay. Let us the balance sheet. Let us
either SFB or the statement of financial position.
Yes.
So we will start with non-current asset, which I've seen we have land. We have the sport pavilion.
And equipment.
And
Equipment.
So to be on the safer side, you can have cost here, and then you have accumulated depreciation. You have cost, and then have accumulated depreciation, and then have the net book value. The net book value. The cost over this one should be on
120,000.
So we have a 120,000 land, we don't depreciate.
Yes.
So it will be the same. Here, 120,000. And then sport pavilion, we have 60,000. And then we had calculated depreciation of 6,000, right?
6,000, yes.
So our net book value will be the cost minus depreciation. It is 4,000. Equipment, we add 500. And then this one is 1,500.
1,500.
Yes, so you can get the total non-current asset being 180,000. 180,000. Then we go to the current asset.
Yes.
We have bank.